Hi students, today we are going to discuss about the Indian Constitution and its historical context as a part of your curriculum. So before going for this, let me tell you what is Constitution and what is the necessity of the Constitution. So you all might be knowing about that. We have got independence on August 15th, 1947. So you all know very well our ancestors or our parents or grandparents might be knowing who were witnessing this event, the grand event. They celebrated the independence. But anybody thought of this like we have been ruled for 200 years, over 200 years by foreigners, Europeans, the Britishers. Okay, all of a sudden they have given a fruit to you. Understand? But we don't know how to cut it, how to share it, and how to enjoy the fruit. If all of us put our hands, that will get spoiled, no one will get anything. Understand? Instead of that, some elders will sit, they will make into slices, they check how many people are there, who are elders, what are their appetites. A child requires a small piece, an elderly man, a young man requires a big piece. Understand? A ripened part. Understand? In such a way, you have to enjoy the fruit. In the same fashion, our constitutional experts, the freedom fighters of the day, they have made a rule book according to which our country is going to run. Okay? In that, our political ideals, the structure of a political structure of the country, and the rights of the citizens and duties, and what are the functions of the government, everything is incorporated in detail. Okay, so let's go into the introduction of the Constitution. See, a Constitution is a body of fundamental principles according to which a country is governed. Understand? It's just like a rule book. The Constitution of India is one of the best and most powerful constitution in the modern world. Why it is called the best and most powerful constitution? Because it has served the diverse interests of the country, and also so many legal luminaries and experts have put in their all efforts in making that a dream come reality. It was formulated by a drafting committee headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and approved by the Constituent Assembly chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. As you all are very well aware that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is also known as the father of the Constitution. Okay, so he was heading the drafting committee, which was an important committee out of 22 committees of Constituent Assembly, and whereas the Constituent Assembly was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Indian Constitution describes the structure of the political system, rights and freedoms of Indian citizens, and independence of judiciary. Okay, it discusses every nook and corner of the political structure, how the country should run, and what are the organs of the government, what are the duties of the citizens, what are the rights. Everything are mentioned in detail in the form of articles and schedules and parts in the Constitution. The Indian Constitution has laid down the foundation for the establishment of a vibrant welfare state with distinct political values like rule of law, secularism, socialism, and socio-economic justice. These are the important political values which we are going to discuss later. And one of the important provisions from where we have taken some provisions of the Constitution are the Government of India Act 1935. It has made an arrangement for establishing federalism in India. See, when I say federalism, it is nothing but a political structure of a country where you have a central government and the state government, and that will serve the relation between the center and the state government. That is known as a federal structure. So the Government of India Act 1935 had provided for this provision of federalism in India. As a result of Indian Independence Act 1947, India attained independence on 15th August 1947. You know very well, anything can be done only through government acts. Even see, in today's day, if you want to make any changes in the government laws, like you have to increase the voting age or reduce the voting age, okay, or introduce GST Act, anything, it is done by the Parliament through Act. In the same way, the British has governed us and they have given us independence not simply by telling, oh, you got independence, just enjoy. It's not like that. Everything is written. It is through Act. That Act was Indian Independence Act 1947. India became a republic with the commencement of written constitution on 26 January 1950. See, our Constituent Assembly members have taken 2 years, 11 months and 18 days for framing the Indian Constitution. So by the time it has come to a shape, and it has come into effect only from the date 26 January 1950, that day we celebrate as a Republic Day, because from that day onwards this constitution has come into existence. So Indian constitution declares India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. These are the great democratic and political ideas which our constitution has in its preamble, according to which a government runs and functions. It's the soul of the constitution. These points like sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic, I am going to discuss this in the further topics. It has provided for parliamentary system of government for Indians. See, we have different types of systems like presidential form of system, parliamentary form of system, monarchical type of system. Each one is different. When I say parliamentary form of government, you have a body with two houses like upper house and lower house. We have adopted this from the British Parliament. That means people will elect representatives on behalf of us, they rule us. It's a rule by the people through a representatives. Many constitutional experts have described the Indian constitution as the most virtuous, noblest and idealist one in the world. See, why they have just praised the constitution? Because it's the noblest one. It has served the interest of all the different and diverse sections of the society. That's not that easy. That's why it has been praised like that. And the philosophy of the Indian constitution is reflected in its political ideals such as liberty, equality, rights, justice, fraternity, unity and integrity. See, these are not just words. It has got lot of thing to do. Okay, these words or these key words are going to govern the whole constitution and the political ideas and dreams and visions of our experts. See, for example, I want to see my building should be like this. If I have got an open land, I think I should have a duplex home, swimming pool, lawn, etc. Like that, they envision this kind of society we want. That's what are incorporated in these points, which are going to be discussed later. Thank you.